Well, that was a clip from the trailer for Larry Capetto's latest documentary, Lest They Be Forgotten.
Yeah, for 10 years, Capetto has been capturing some of the history of World War II through the stories and tales of the people who were there. Joining us in studio this morning to tell us a little bit more about his work, we have Larry Capetto. Thanks for joining us today.
I am so excited. This is great. It's been 10 years since I've been here, and you kind of helped launch my work in this local area, in the Utah area, and I'm just so excited at the work I've been doing the last 10 years, Kerri.
Kind of take us back and let us know, why begin this type of work?
Well, it's important that if we don't remember, we're going to forget. I entitled my series, Lest They Be Forgotten. And for the last 10 years, I've been on what I call an incredible journey, traveling North America, interviewing now, if you can imagine, 1,000 veterans from World War II, Korea, Vietnam, up to Iraq, and hearing stories a lot of times for the first time. And it's been an incredible journey for me, like I said, a very educational opportunity for me to learn what it was like to be 18 and 19 years old and fighting for your country, and then coming back home and transitioning back into civilian life. And the stories I've heard, as you can imagine, I've never asked anybody, did you kill anybody? That's an obvious answer, but really just, I've been honored. I've been serving my country through the lens of a camera for 10 years, and I'm back in Utah. It's been wonderful. It's been, I've come full circle.
And it sounds like it's been life-changing for you to do this, and especially that it's gone on for, it's become your life passion.
It has. I've done a lot of things with my life, Kerri, but this is the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. Interviewing these veterans, and then when they die, leaving the legacy to their families and for our future generations. I go into schools. I talk to our younger generation about the freedoms that we have and why we're free. Do you ever give thought to that? You're born in a free country. Do you ever think about why you're free? And so I have an opportunity now to take these stories, these first-hand accounts of war, into the schools and talk to our younger generation.
Yeah, and how were you able to get these veterans to open up, being very sensitive to, their experiences there, and what were they willing to share?
Well, I've been fortunate. Normally a combat veteran won't talk to somebody but another combat veteran, but I think I put them at ease. I provide a very non-threatening environment for them, and they open up and they talk to me because they know I care. I practice the fine art of listening well. I'm a good listener, and there's power in that. So consequently, I hear for the first time what it was like during war in the stories that I've heard. I interviewed a man here in the Utah area whose twin brother was killed on Iwo Jima, 18 years old, and there was an explosion, there was a concussion, he was knocked out. When he woke up, he couldn't tune his brother in, and he saw a helmet, and he went over and picked up the head of his brother, and then he buried his brother on Iwo Jima. I mean, amazing stories, just life-changing stories, and how can we thank our veterans enough for what they've done?
Let's listen to a clip. We actually have something. Let's see if we can play that right now.
Okay.
Towards evening, about 5 o'clock, we looked up, and there come two whistling willies. The next thing I knew, I was blown out of the hole. I was bleeding everything from my head. Eyes, nose, mouth, ear. The concussion was so great, it felt like it blew my brains out. And I tried to tune my brother in. He didn't tune in. Instinct or whatever told me to crawl to that helmet. When I got there, I picked up his head. I say, as he was bending over, it caught him right here, because everything was gone. Just pieces. I should have died with him. I wanted to die. I really did. Because my life had ruined. Half of me died when he died.
How vividly do you remember that interview?
That's here. That's in Utah. That's one of the most stunning stories I've heard, as he tells about how he gathered his brother's pieces, put them in a poncho, and took them to the aid station and cleaned them up and buried them. And I'm telling you, it's just, I'm in a very reflective mode now. I told you earlier, a week doesn't go by I don't get an email or a phone call from a widow who just lost her loved one. 1,500 World War II veterans were dying every day in our country when I started my work 10 years ago. And the statistics are a little bit lower, but we're losing them. And we've got to record their stories, and I'm so honored to do this for them.
It really is neat. I think a lot of people don't know those stories. We take for granted that people fought for our freedom. And so it's neat that you're doing this work, and you've put everything together in this documentary.
Yeah, I've got 17 films now, and covering over 70 years of history. I want to give you a commemorative pin here. This is my Lest They Be Forgotten pin. I want to give that to you.
Thank you.
And I'll give you one of my videos too. But it just, my heart's full this morning. It's just been such a life-changing experience for me. And again, to thank our veterans for what they've done. How can we thank them enough? It affects all of us on a personal level.
I'm sure they have a lot of gratitude for, you know, the work that you've documented on their behalf.
And the irony is I haven't served in the military. My father did in Korea. But like I said, for the last 10 years, I've been serving my country through the lens of a camera, capturing courage on camera.
Sounds like this was the best way
Absolutely.
for you. It all worked out.
I want to thank you guys. Fox 13, you've been great.